Hey, you guys, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Melanin Playbook podcast.
Hey.
So, we're going to take this time to actually dig into a topic that doesn't come up much, but when it comes up, it tends to be controversy behind it.
Mhm.
But we're going to address it anyway. And before we go deep into it, we just want to say at the beginning of this episode, of course, this is our personal thoughts on this topic. We do not discriminate against anybody who believes in or anybody's religion, anything. We want you to enjoy and have your connection to the higher power. So, with that being said, we're going to hit up on our topic of the day, which is going to be spirituality. I'm a believer. Do you believe?
I can see that you are a non-believer.
Yes, Lynch, Devereaux.
Every time I hear that,
She
that's what
say, neither rain or sleet could keep you away from thee. I can see you are a non-believer.
non-believer. Man, when it come to religion, boy, the Lanete community, boy, we be die hard, boy.
We
We go
are
in. It's
too
either
that
you. It's
hard.
like a cult kind of. It's like either you with
It
it or
for
you not.
real.
Like if you
Yeah.
even mention anything against it, they're like, okay, you're not supposed to question. But then in the same book that y'all reading out of, it says knowledge. A man that
Yeah.
like I forgot the exact words, but it's pretty much when you lack knowledge, like that's not good.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, which one is it?
I think because it's like when you are believing in something. So when it comes to that, something we human, so we are really triggered on what we can see or experience. And then that's how we choose to believe, like to
True.
be honest, we experience $5 subs at Subway. So we believe that it's gonna be there. One every week. It's gonna have a $5 sub.
True.
Like it's like we go with what we can see, feel, touch, have experienced emotionally or mentally, and that's how we do it. So then it's kind of like when you have something that's out there that you can't question, then now I am questioning. It's like breaking the rules. You know what I mean? It's like, I can't question. So why am I not? Now that's the question. Why am I not supposed to question it?
Exactly.
Because if that be the case, then I need to figure out like my real thing. Like what am I doing? What am I doing?
Yeah,
Like
'cause like for me, I would say I always went by what I was taught growing up as far as it came to being spiritual and being a Baptist. But as I got older and stuff started not making sense to me, I started questioning things. And I'm like, okay, all these different religions, but to me, they all kind of the same, but just different. Everybody just decided to break off into their own little cult, quote unquote. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm not gonna even claim no religion no more. Cause to me, it ain't what's the difference in all the religions. One just wears dresses all the time, one don't. One do this way, that one don't. But it's still like I'll go towards like Jesus or something, or something dealing with the same thing. I was just like, that's when I started having my questions because I'm like, okay, that don't make sense to me. Like, why are we all divided and separated off of just one or two different things?
Right.
a
I think
lot of
there's a lot of
stuff.
questions that raise up when it comes to spirituality, and I have one deep question that I always wanted to ask because it's always been in the book of Genesis, and I have a clip that's gonna say it for me, but it's always been my question. So here we go.
Allow pettiness in heaven, which was like a shock for me because I just wanted to pull Eve to the side right over by Gold Avenue and be like, girl, was the fruit even that good? Like, do you know we've been struggling?
That was my
You're
question.
ignorant.
Listen, it's so funny that you say that, because
Yo,
the other day,
Was it not a valid question?
but
Like,
I mean,
I
it
was
is a
like,
valid question.
it is. So, with women, we go through what we go through every month. So, I was just like, dang, like I just had a moment. I was like, dang, Eve, why you had to bite the apple?
Right.
you
Was it
know,
Granny Smith? Was it what
Yes,
right.
was
I
it?
was just like,
The
why you had
Fiji
to bite the apple?
the Fuji Fiji apple?
We
Like
gotta work.
what?
We was forced to work. Like it's like come on now,
And
come
like to
But
on.
when
be
you
quite
think about it
honest,
though, Oh,
But
you
I'm
know.
gonna be honest when it comes to it. Going to church, my dad is a pastor, and it's something you raise up on. I think the one thing about religion that's kind of odd for it is it's something that we don't allow ourselves to be drawn to religion. We are told what to believe in from
Yeah.
youth, and then we kind of
Right.
go that way. And then it's like, well,
We
that may
were
not be
told.
you're right. That may not be what I want to be. I could decide I want to be Catholic. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Mhm.
Like, or Hindu, or however, Allah, be up on the Allah, and they're like, you just never know. But of course, we're all told that it's no Christianity has a higher rank for religion, especially throughout the world. I mean, it is the one religion that's in our actual legal system. Like
But then
it
you have
trans
to question that why. Out of
that's
Right.
all these other religions, why is and
That
see
keeps
that's when you
me.
start going down that rabbit hole and you start realizing the truth.
And that's
Because
what I was just about to say that in front. Like, what makes you think with the Eve and the apple? I mean, the apple and Eve story. Was it really an apple or was it symbolic for something?
it's
And
always symbolic.
yeah, exactly. So was it just her? Okay, she really went to this tree and just bit this apple, or did something like
Hmm.
what's the meaning behind that? And that's just what the story that I guess the people, quote unquote, just put for us to like kind of get a visual of what was going on or something like that.
Yeah. Like everything, because it says it in the Bible that things are an allegory, which means everything has
Mhm.
a symbolic meaning behind it. Is interpreted different. We take everything and make it literal, and
Right.
we're missing the message. And like to be quite honest, every religion routes back to the same thing, which is
Exactly.
consciousness being love. Like anything outside of love is unnatural. Everything like when you look outside, because we keep going back to your okay, Jesus, the Bible. When you look outside, do you see a Bible sitting in front of a tree to tell it how to grow? Like you don't, because it's already equipped with everything it needs. Like we are the
Mm-hmm.
God that we seek. And like
Mm-hmm.
we need to
It's
really look
revealing.
inside ourselves because religion was brought here to really control someone. How did we get
Mm-hmm.
our religion? How did we get Christianity labeled on the black community? Who
Because
gave us that book?
I've always felt like, we didn't I feel like back then with like ancestors and things, I don't in my mind of what I feel like, I really feel like it wasn't no religions. I feel like when
It
they
wasn't.
talk, they talk to the gods, they talk to the ancestors that they had. It wasn't
Mhm.
no let me get on my knees and pray to God. It was more so like I'm gonna go outside, talk to the stars, talk to the tree. It was a
Yeah,
nature thing. Like it was them depending on the nature of the environment that they were in.
yeah,
definitely.
because that's really what it is. Like I said, who gave us that book? Like
Right.
the same people that gave us the book said we couldn't read nothing else. That's the only thing we could read. If you learn how to read and you knew how to read, that was the only book you could read. Why?
Because
Like
that's what
I
they
mean,
want.
it's a lot of questions when it
it's a
comes down to
lot
it.
of
Mhm.
Like,
questions
It's
that
a
like
lot.
we
it's a
don't
lot
You
of
can
want
never
to
answer
unanswered
have
the
though.
questions.
question.
We don't want to have
Mhm.
those questions though because we scared of the reality. You can't blame. The reality is you won't be able to blame nobody but
I don't
yourself.
think we're scared of the reality. I think like it has been instilled in us not to question. So it's like a computer going against its programming
True.
to ask the question and to be like, hey, so how can I say this is real? Because I'm gonna tell you the only time that I really in my life, when the point in my life that I really started to question religion was, of course, when you start to think about death. Because when you think about death, you like,
Mhm.
what if I die? Like, Christianity talks about judgment day, judgment day, judgment day.
Mhm.
It's gonna be this, not even just Christianity, but even when it comes down to Jehovah's Witnesses, it's talked about judgment day. And it's gonna be a certain number of people. I think it's what Jehovah's Witnesses believes, a certain number of people. And then it's
And
like for
Christians,
Christianity,
certain other
uh
people too.
yeah. So it's kind of like
Mhm.
so you're gonna tell me that he's gonna keep producing people, knowing that it's only a limited of
Okay,
seats,
come on now.
up here. And
Okay,
And then
so that's
okay.
to me, if you wanna like
it
compare
don't
that
make
to real
sense.
time today, then it's like you set me up for failure. Like you sent me here
Okay,
knowing that I
Mhm.
wasn't finna make it. Like just leave me
Man,
we
here.
gotta question stuff, but we don't
Leave
want to
me
have
here.
those
And
one
conversations.
thing
and
I question is, how okay, so I'm not sure if I interpreted this way or if everybody did. Oh, I gotta sneeze. Hold on. Okay. I thought I had to sneeze. My bad. Okay, so you know how they say when you do die, right, and you're asleep, quote unquote, until it's time for you to be judged. Have you all ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, so my questioning for that is, okay, if this person died and they're asleep, and they're asleep until judgment day, how are their spirits? Like, how is it that, oh,
Thank you.
sometimes you all see their spirits, or they come to you in their dreams if they're sleeping? Like, how are they communicating with, because some people can communicate with the people that's considered dead,
Yeah.
so if they're asleep, how is that even possible?
But then in the same token, you say absent from the body to be present with the Lord. So if you're at you
Hmm.
saying that you sleep, so am I sleeping or am I with the Lord? Like which one?
Well, they try to say in that time, like the
Which
time
one is
moves
it?
differently on that end, and they're saying like for people who are asleep, like they're saying when you die and you go to sleep, that for you it's only gonna seem like it was a minute, like it's gonna appear to you as a spirit, like you just died, and then boom, you're already at judgment. Um, but like to
So
me,
it's not
like
no. So
like
so
like
It's
I'm
you
a,
like
saying
I'm
you
I'm gonna
that
stop it before we
conceptualizing
before
it.
we because I don't want all of us talking at the same time because this is a real subject that I want people to kind of hear. Um, but I would say it would be so. Then you take it back to the point of death, and it makes it where. All right, so you're saying like I feel risk. I feel like what I do is a risk because what if I get a judgment day and then it's the wrong religion? I was following this and then it's not that. It's like but then you say no, it's other people. No religion is but this. You believe in what you want to believe in. Then it's free will, and it's a lot of things that's tied up into the system. And I'm just gonna say system because it is a system of religion. It's a system to it.
Mhm.
It's systematic. And I think when it boils down to the point, it's like, what do you truly believe? Now, for me personally, do I believe in a higher power? I really do. I believe that some stuff in the Bible is valid, and then I do believe that some things in the Bible have been put into the Bible by individuals. But that's my viewpoint because man, it has been we've known for putting our hands and our fingers in places they're not supposed to be and trying to
Mhm.
change things that we're not supposed to be touching. So this
Yeah.
book has been translated over and over and over and over
Mhm.
and
hmm
over again. And it's like who to say nobody has seen the original text. That's
Okay.
that's that's what we got to really get our minds wrapped around. Nobody has seen the original text because if you go by science and you say, well, the world started out in Africa, then we all know that Christianity was not in existence in Africa. It hasn't even been existing since
Show
the
it.
beginning of time. This, so it's like you can't say, oh, well, this is the religion when in fact Christianity did not exist throughout the full, beginning. It was not the first thing that was thought about.
Nope.
So like you have to come to a term of what am I really believing? Where do we get it? You know what I'm saying? Like it makes everything questionable.
And then sometimes you also, when you question it, have you all ever, like, you from being what you grew up on or whatever, in the what you was like taught to believe and know, so as you start growing up and having those questions, have you all ever felt bad because you felt like it was wrong to question what you thought was the only thing you supposed to know?
Of course you will, because you're going against your what you have been
Naturally.
programmed.
Hmm.
Like that, it's gonna cause anxiety. It's gonna cause a lot of things when you wake up and start realizing different things. So yeah,
Hmm.
because it takes a whole lot to start questioning something that you feel that you should just
You've
go
been knowing
with.
all your life. Hmm.
Because even down the way we eat, like the way we used to eat, like we now when you get older, you be like, okay, pig feet every night is not the move. Like
Hmm.
all that, like the way we would cook foods and stuff like that is not really the mindset. Also, like it's a lot of things that we have to question when it comes to what we've been programmed or what we've been told to do,
Like,
because we
'cause,
didn't
like,
have an option.
right, and just like what Brandon said, it's two things. Like with Brandon, when he was like, time is different for them, and how he was like, so they died in a split second day and Judgment Day, but we're taught that Judgment Day is gonna come when we hear this loud trumpet, and everybody gonna get judged. So if that's what you kind of grew up thinking or was taught, then on my end, I wasn't taught that they would sleep like and they'll be sleeping judgment days like within a second. It's like, how is that possible? Because to what I know, it's gonna be a loud trumpet, it's gonna be an antichrist, and everybody's gonna have to get prepared, whether you the dead and all gonna have to come together and get judged.
Right. It's a lot of confusion when
Hmm.
it comes to it, even down to with all those, because I feel like, just like you said in the beginning, like I feel like it is symbolic to something. It's not exactly literal how it is, but it's
Right.
symbolic to something because multiple people have dabbled in that book and changed its stuff. And people, we got to understand how humans work. We change things to align with our liking. So
Hmm.
you got all these people changing things to align and create this religion. And really, for real, religion is about control. So now you got these people that's creating these things in this book to gain control in the aspect. So what exactly are you following? And
Right.
like having that conversation with yourself is very scary, because
Yeah,
I
Hmm.
I
had
mean,
that
because you don't
conversation with
want to
myself.
go back. You
Yeah.
don't like it's it makes you question certain things and
It
certain
makes you
like
angry.
I'm not angry, not
Yeah,
angry.
no,
It
It
I
makes
doesn't
you
agree.
make it
angry.
doesn't
I
make you
agree.
angry. It makes you to me personally, I don't feel like it makes it angry. It makes me um feel at odds because it's like being raised up in in the hood and finding out that there's places that exist outside of it.
But
You
it makes
So
you
know,
angry because of who
it's
gave it
kind
to
of
you.
well, I mean,
it made me
your
mad.
parents gave it to you,
It
so
made
then
me mad.
it's kind of
Yeah, it
like
made me
the
mad.
freedom to believe in it and to be like, okay, I'm not mad because of it. I think it's more of I was taught not to question. I question. Now I have questions. I want the answers and I can't find it, but I just go and seek out for my own free will. I've never like I religion never has made me angry. I feel like when you know the viewpoint of what religion is and what it's supposed to stand for, it won't make you angry in the process of it. I
Well,
think
No, it's not the
I don't
religion
think
that
I
the
makes you
hold
angry.
religion
on. We want to let everybody
is.
talk at one time so we don't be all three answering at the same time because we trying to get everybody's point across on it. But go ahead,
It's not the religion that makes me angry.
Mhm.
It's the fact that the the fact that you didn't question and you just went on ahead with it, and now I'm getting it when you could have questioned it and stopped this whole train.
But
Like
if you can't look at it
that's
from
what
that view
causes it.
though, because if you look at it when it was handed into our community, we couldn't read. We didn't know the literacy for it, and we adopted the only thing we felt safe with. So I'm not angry in that aspect because at that point, you didn't know. I can be only angry at someone that actually intentionally knew what they were
So yeah,
doing in that moment and then they took it on and then you pass it and spread it around. I could be mad at that, but y'all they literally just heard this, being pushed to them by, you know, non-melanin individuals who could read while we couldn't, and we didn't know this language and
mm,
we didn't know the verbiage and we didn't know the text of this. And so when throughout slavery, that was the one thing that made us feel safe was religion. And I think that's the start of what pushed it down the line to get to where it is right now. I'm
My
so
not going to
parents
say it
weren't
doesn't
slaves.
exist.
so
Your parents wasn't, but you had ancestors that
And I
were.
and I get that, but I'm saying because I'm stopping it. So anybody behind me, if I choose to have kids, they're not gonna go through that. That's what I'm saying. Like my people who brought it to me, I understand my ancestors, they didn't have an option. So, but my generation, my parents, the people around me had options. So that's where the frustration came in. It's like, dang, I really wish you would have questioned it.
so for me, I think my anger went towards the people who actually was doing it, like, when you dig into religion, of course you're gonna go into other things that led up to that, right? So for me, I was angry. I'm like, what in the made them feel like they were superior to us to do this to us? Like, what did we do to them to make them feel like this was okay to manipulate us like that? Like, you can be mad or feel some type of way about us trying to fight back, but we only could do so much. But at the same time, it was just like, what happened for y'all for y'all to feel like y'all have to hate us? Like, were we that good? Like, because they say we was basically had our going on back then. And so it's like you couldn't join us and just make it where it was good. You had to get that jealous to like strip everything away from us. Like, was we living life that well for y'all to be mad like that? Like, why? Like, how? What made
I'm
y'all
not
feel
gonna
like
say it was fully that. I'm not gonna base it completely on the groundwork of religion, and the reason why I'm not going to do that is because anything in this world can be taken and used as a weapon. Anything in this world can be taken and used as a weapon. So I'm not going to fully say that because it's me taking people who misused it and abused it and tried to change it for their own and spreading it across the board and saying, well, okay,
right,
well, Christianity in its whole entirety now is tainted because of that. And I'm not gonna lie, that is one of the aspects that we feel nowadays, because going through that book, it condones a lot of things that we don't agree with, and some things that we overlook within the book because it got put in there due to certain circumstances and by certain individuals. So I won't say that the religion itself is bad, because in fact we have experienced a lot of parts of that religion that are true and are fact. So I'm not going to say the whole thing is a charade and what we've been believing in is not right, and I'm an atheist and I don't believe in it. No, because that's not my case. I do believe in,
right.
like I said, I do believe in a higher power. I do believe my thing started to, when I started to question religion, I didn't question religion because of religion. I questioned it because of the Bible. The Bible made me raise questions for me. It was never the actual aspect of religion, because I experienced things throughout my life that made me go from saying I'm a part of a religion to I'm religious. And
Right.
when I said I'm religious, I mean I have beliefs, I have feelings, I have connection. It's certain things that I really truly believe in. I'm not a part of a religion because a religion to me is organized, and
Mhm.
it has a set out and a groundwork for it. And it's like, no, that's not me. If you ask me, do I believe in God? I'm gonna say yes, because I do believe in God. But if you
Mhm.
say, do you believe in every word in the Bible? No, I don't. Um,
Yeah.
Show me the original text, and then I got you. But
I
you show me
I
a book today and this time, and what I see, I'm sorry, but I can't, because we look at the example of what Christianity is, what we see in people who follow it and people who are a part of it. And you can't tell me in a book that says love everybody that you guys take the time to judge and condemn and hold
Mhm.
the book out towards other individuals. Like, you can't, it can't be listed out as that way. We there's certain people who have studied that book die hard, even when it comes to sexuality, as things just raise questions in that book. And it's a lot of things in that book that we want to say, oh well, I don't do this and I'm not sitting with these individuals because in this book it says this, but it also says that we're not supposed to wear fabric of different cloths, we're not supposed to be eating shellfish, we're not supposed to eat swine. It's a lot of things in that book that you yourself don't, and I find people using it as a tool of hate more than it's what it stands for, which is love. So then it's kind of like,
Mhm.
now I can't really be that deep within the text of it, but I do believe in the message, if that makes sense.
So for me, I'm gonna say I would like with you. I feel like I do believe that it is a God, but I believe it's within. And I feel like once you like really unlock it, that's the hard thing to do as well, like unlock it within. So it's like I feel like it's within us. Wherever we go, it's with us, because I mean, I don't know. I can't It's to the point now where I just can't. I don't know. I just look at it differently now. Like I don't even know how to explain it. It's just I can't look at it the same no more.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I just
I would say for me, like, one thing and it's funny because me and Shrina had this, me and my sister Shrina, we had this conversation, and we were talking about, and me and Eyez have had this conversation as well, and I am a firm believer of reincarnation, and I believe a lot of times we've all have been here before, and I think
Mhm.
that's why we connect, like we find each other and we connect, and it's like we known each other for a lifetime, and maybe in one aspect we did.
Right.
And I think so I'm very firm on that. I also think that, do I think we transcend from heaven? I do. I think the more, like you said, I do think God is within, and because in the Bible it says we are created within His image, which means we
Mm-hmm.
basically are, not we are as powerful as He is. So
You
we
are God.
like I said, we have the power to manifest and do things, but a lot of times our thought process and the things that we've allowed the world to put on us have blocked out, to me, our godly power,
Yes.
Mhm.
and
Yep.
it's made where I think the more internally you go into yourself and the more you dig deep and the more you connect with yourself, then you find out there's certain things. And when people be like, oh, this is a form of witchcraft because this person can see the future, and this person it says they can feel other people's feelings and this and that. And it's like, no, it's not. They're in touch with themselves and in tune with themselves enough that their heavenly abilities show through. And yes, they can
Mhm.
be empaths and they can prophesy on things, and some people can heal people, and some people can manifest things just through the power of tongue. Like it exists.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah, I
think
definitely believe in
we're
that.
so busy trying to have a hierarchy over it because you want to be like, my pastor, he dreams and he does this and he does that, so he gotta be a man of God. And it's like, okay, but I'm
We
sitting over
all
here and
are.
I'm sitting over here and I'm chilling, and I'm doing, living my life, doing right by people, doing everything, and I go to work and I'm a just man and I'm an empath. Does that mean I'm supposed to be sitting in a pedestal on Sunday and sitting in a pulpit preaching because I have a spiritual gift like that? No, that doesn't define me to be there. And I think the problem with some religion is we're not looking for that connection to God. We're looking for God to show Himself in a physical entity, which
I
means
feel like
we in ourselves are still questioning if you are waiting for Him to physically manifest for you.
right. I think in the church, in our community that gets out. I feel like the purpose of church, like it could be for us to get in tune with ourselves and get connected with God individually, but I feel like now it's just a fashion show. It's like a popularity thing now. Like I know back in the day when we was younger, it felt like church. It felt like you was at church. Now you go to church, it's just like it ain't. It's just not the same. It's like it's not even genuine no more. It's like people just go to do something on a Sunday to say they did it.
Hmm.
But I mean, it's kind of always been an
Yeah.
an an upstage thing like that. But it's I think like I mean, this just ask ourselves the question. Okay, so do, are you a believer? Like, are you a believer? That's out on the floor now. Like literally, are you a believer?
So it's like I'm a believer of a higher power, higher power. Like I can't say I don't know. It's not. That's a hard thing to just say yes or no to. To me, it's like I have to explain it because it's like
Eyes.
I feel like I am a believer in a higher consciousness. I'm
So I see
spiritual.
you are a non-believer.
I believe in some of the stories because everybody has a story. Martin Luther King could be in a Bible because he had a story. He had what's her name? Harriet Tubman can be in the Bible. She led people to freedom.
right.
Like
Hmm.
everybody has a story. So I'm pretty sure the story of Jesus, the story of everybody in the Bible, it could have very well been possible, but they are black people, FYI. And I feel like, everybody has a story, but we all are here on this planet and in this realm to seek a higher consciousness. So
Hmm.
that's what we are trying to do. And people get it confused when they come up with the stories because you're looking for somebody to actually tell you what to do when it's easy that way opposed to you going out there searching and getting on your own and actually having to seek inside yourself to find out things that you were born with. So
Hmm.
we're no different than anything else on this planet. We are all one. Like a tree knows how to grow. You know how to do everything you need to do to stay on this planet. Like
Hmm.
we have it. We don't need anyone telling us that because we already have it. you know. So, but you got to seek inside yourself. So, yeah, I'm a believer of a higher consciousness. I believe we can get there if we remove trying to be in control or something.
Okay. Yeah. Same. I mean, I believe. I mean, I already told you what I believe in, so it's out there. But I do think like when it comes down to it, that we like I said at the beginning, I never discriminate against anybody's choice. If you don't believe, you don't believe. Because to me, that's you and your God. Like I can't tell you what's right and what's wrong. I never try to make a decision for anybody in a lot of situations due to the fact that free will. You can't say we live in a world of free will, or that you're an individual that want freedom for everybody, and then you continue to try to sway
Mhm.
them to think a certain way or believe a certain way. No, do what you do. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, whatever decision you make, I want you to be comfortable with. I don't want you to wake up in afterlife like, dang, I let him tell me I need to go light candles and sit in the circle. And look
Okay.
where I'm in that. Like I don't want you to be saying that. But have your own set out beliefs of how you want to do it, and certain religions and things make us question stuff. That's why I left that, and I was like, I'm just gonna say I'm religious, and when I say I'm religious, I'm not bound to anything, but I am or spiritual, and
I
I
was
can
about to
say,
say you more
yeah,
spiritual than
I'm more
religious.
spiritual, and I can say, I believe I have my own like multiple beliefs of it, and that's one thing I loved about, not to throw him out there like that, but Kurt Franklin, because his last album was entitled "Losing My Religion." And I think he was starting to see how structured Christianity was, the way he put it. And he was like, I'm a part of something that discriminates against individuals, that tell people they can't come to God because they are like this. We all, and I think the one thing that we lose when it comes to religion is we all, according to the book, we all have a sin. Even on Judgment Day, it said that we're nobody will enter the gates without a sin.
Okay.
So then it's like,
Amen.
half of y'all seeing is gonna be being in other people's business when you should have been watching what you were supposed to be doing, because
Okay.
you done added one on top of yours because you over here judging. And it's like, we skip. One thing that would made me fall out of love with Christianity was, one, it was the usage of it. Like even sitting in church, sometimes I would watch pastors preach about the very thing they wasn't doing, and
Mhm.
condemn people on the things that they knew others was doing. And I think that's one reason why when it comes to Christianity, when they talk about homosexuality and people in the LGBT community and things like that, they push on that because they know that's the one thing that they feel is in the Bible that is deeply negative, and that they're not doing. So then they're like, well, I'm gonna condemn you. Yeah, sleeping with sister who over here, and that ain't the sin for you. That's you. That's an angel sitting in the midst. But it's like, you want to say who this person loving is is wrong, and then you turn around and within the same breath and say no, but God is love.
It's
I'm
the
confused.
contradictory in
Like
that book.
I'm confused. It's like I said, and the thing about it is, I think we listen and we sit in here, we go in, and then we're okay, because you know how people are in church. You know how we were in church. We were
But
cool and
don't
fine being in church until they said something or preached about a topic that we felt was addressed on us, and we didn't even want to show up the next Sunday. We like, I felt like I done spoke with him, and next thing you know, I told him that I said I think I need prayer because I accidentally slipped a 20 out of somebody's purse and I shouldn't
Ooh,
have. Lord, forgive me. Next thing you know, you go into church the next Sunday and he preaching about, I should not steal. You shouldn't have a reason to steal. If you ask for it, it should automatically manifest to you. You sit in the back of the church looking like, now I know like crap. He didn't get up here and start putting my business out.
But you
And
okay.
know something? Let me tell you, like growing up, I guess I was so wrapped up in being a kid. Like I didn't even know all that type of stuff was going on. Well, I guess because I was a kid, being a kid, because it took me to like almost graduating out of high school and getting into my adult life when I realized I was like, God dang, all this be going on in the church. Even to this day, like my cousins that I grew up with, they was like, man, we was at church and all this happened, and I'm just like, where was I? Like,
Okay.
like think this is a lot. A lot be going on behind closed doors. Like I was shocked because I was like, the church.
You be surprised. Church is like a hospital. It's sick people there. Like you supposed to go to church. That's what church is for. You supposed to go there when you down and out. You needing help. You needing the Lord. You needing a word from the Lord. You going through. You sick. You got a problem. Everybody there got a problem. So because everybody in the world has a problem because we're flawed. So you go there for that. So you got a lot of chaos there, and,
And then let me.
and people don't realize it.
So it's a church back home. And it's a pretty large amount of people that goes to these different locations. So speaking of going to the church, and feeling sick or whatever. So I think this was right around the time I had just had my second child or whatever, or pregnant with him, and I was just like going through it, y'all. Like I just felt so bad to where I just wanted to hear something positive from somebody. So in my mind, you go to church. This is me still learning, even now to this day, years later. I'm still learning about this and trying to unlock whatever it is I need to know about it. But in this moment, I go to Bible study, y'all. And so I'm sad, I'm crying, all the above. And so after Bible study, I went up to this popular preacher in Jackson. And so I walked to him and I was so sad. And I was just like, I just want to talk to somebody. I just need, some positive words just to help encourage me, just to get me on through my day and my week. Do you all know? This guy said, okay, you got to make an appointment with my secretary. I'm not coming back here because what if I was borderline of suicide, and went outside and then like just
Baby.
I'd
you
have went
know
over there.
yes.
I'd have been like, "Are you the secretary? Okay, I need to schedule an appointment.
I'm
Before I do this,
done. Now you gotta schedule an appointment for
what's the
blessing,
copay?
girl.
Yes, I
What's
was
the
like, okay,
copay for a
this
pastor
is
conversation? Like, is there a
right,
copay? You need my insurance card?
Yeah,
Okay.
you do need
right.
an insurance card.
Okay.
I was
So
like,
when can he see me?
okay,
3
right.
Sundays from now.
I might not even feel
I
like
just go.
this.
I go meet with Jesus. It's fine. I ain't
Okay, you
here.
may as well just go to the source.
That's
Don't go
crazy.
to
I
the
was like,
middleman.
wow. I was like, oh, okay, popular church got like more than two locations, I think, or is it just two? It's a popular one.
Mm-mm.
I don't know. I'm
That's
just
why I
sitting
go
there.
straight to the source, baby. I'm not going
That's
through
when
the
I was like,
middleman.
Well,
because I was
I go to the source and then I go to therapy.
Okay,
right.
there you go.
I did not go back to that church. I was like, oh, that was it for me. Like, no, I don't want to be in no environment and you a type of pastor like that. Nah. Mm-mm.
But I mean, it's set up in certain ways to be like that, and it's crazy because you see people like Creflo Dollar, Joel Osteen.
I really don't even
Who
watch
else?
them. I
Who else
have.
was it? And I mean, I remember Creflo Dollar when he said when he was in there talking about God told me I would have a plane, and I was sitting up here.
Excuse me.
I said a plane. He told you was flying Spirit. Like
I'm
I'm trying to
done.
figure out.
And you gonna
Like
pay for it.
and they did. The church had enough ties here. They bought him a private jet. And I'm sitting up, I said, the only place he needs to be flying is to y'all pulpit on Sunday. He don't need to
Okay.
be out here like you flying over the world on my dime. And then I don't mind giving my ties and stuff to this, but when I get ready to go to Florida, I hope this jet available because I'm
The
gonna need 5
tithes
ponies.
are supposed to be for the storehouse. House, not you. You ain't no
So
houser.
I thought. I
What?
thought
And
it was
look
supposed to
and
be.
they untaxed.
So yeah, I thought that your tithes and offers, like if somebody, of course, the take the finances of the church and pay the bills, but also like if just a family just hit, them went through something and they need help, that's kind of what it's for, or
Yeah,
no, that's what
it
it's
is
supposed to be
supposed to
for.
be.
Oh,
Mm-mm. That money is supposed to be for their church. It's a non-profit. Churches are non-profit organizations.
so that may kind of make sense. So is the money supposed to be going towards things to help put back in the community, but it's just circling around the church?
Child.
Is that like
Uh,
since you're saying it's supposed to be non-profit, so is that what?
no comment. Um, no comment. No comment. I let Eyes answer that one.
What was it again? Because my phone was choppy.
So with the tithes and offerings, since you said that it was supposed to be kind of like a nonprofit, so I'm asking, okay, so if it's supposed to be a nonprofit, does it really mean that when we pay our tithes and offerings, because you're supposed to, your mission in church is to save lives, quote unquote, is what we taught. So you're supposed to bring people to Christ. So if you're stating that it's supposed to be a nonprofit, then that money that's supposed to go into the church supposed to be going into the community to bring
Right,
more
right,
people to
right,
Christ.
right, right. That's exactly what's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
I
But
never
I'm gonna
That's
looked
say
at it like
this.
that
I'm
exactly
gonna
though.
say
That's why
what's
this.
I'm just
supposed to
like, wow,
happen.
I never looked at it like that. But it makes sense to me. But I never looked at it like that. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
I didn't even really put thought into the tithes and offering. It's just you grew up saying that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
Because even in
because
the Bible, it tells you what you're tithing for. The
Right.
offering is for giving into the storehouse, the church. The tithe is for you supposed to be giving tenth to the Lord, but that was supposed to go back into the tabernacle. Like all
Okay.
that's supposed to go
Mhm.
into the church.
this is how I feel about it. First of all, I'm gonna be 100%. We gonna like. I'm just gonna be all right here. I'm sorry, y'all, and I'm gonna try to say this as respectfully as possible.
Man, say what you got to say.
I'm not finna. Like when it comes to ties, I will put some in the collection plate, but Jesus know I got bills, and
Okay.
like one thing I did not like when people like you give your 10%, you supposed to invest your 10%, and this how you get back. And I'm like, and I it was this thing on Instagram that said if people in the melanin community teach their kids about financial literacy as much as they teach them about religion, then where would they be right now? And I think that's a strong
Okay.
thing because that 10%, what if you had to taught your kid how to put that in the savings or to
Thank you.
invest that in the stock market? Over putting that in an aspect, you putting it in the collection plate. Now, I'm not saying that it's bad to put in the collection plate by any means necessary. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying, if I know the light bill due Tuesday, you not getting $150 Sunday. Like, I'm just saying, like that, and
Okay.
that's me.
Right.
Like, I'm
And
just
now
like,
you going back
I
to
will
the
give
same
you a
church.
5, 10, 15, maybe even 20. But if you looking for 150, which is 10% of my check, I'm gonna give you 150 reasons why you not finna get it at this time.
And
I
now
will
you
get now
going.
you can do me on a 150-day payment plan, and I can get you on that $1 a day, keeps your lights on. Like I can get you, but I'm not finna like I that's one thing I've never agreed with when it came to. I'm like, I understand y'all need money to run, we need this and that, and we supposed to do time and stuff. But it's like also at the same time, like you said, tie. If I'm paying ties, think about it, if I'm a person that's making $300,000 a year. That means I invested $30,000 into my church that year
That's
because
why
that's
you get a
10%,
tax.
right?
That's why you get a tax form
All
in
right, I
most
know. I'm saying,
churches.
but you invested. That's 30,000, right? All right,
Yeah,
cool.
that's right.
Now
You right.
I'm one member. Let's say if it's 100 of us, and at least 50 of us
Okay.
are giving this same amount, then we almost at 100 and what that 1.5 mil right
Yeah.
there.
Come
So
on,
so
brother
then
Herc.
you had 1.5, you had 1.5 mil. All right, cool. So then when Lanete shows up saying that she ain't got a place to stay and this and that, and all you could do is
Come
give
on.
Lanete $300-400 and send her on her way.
Come on.
When we supposed to have the money to be like, I can set you up for a month to get your
Okay.
Mhm.
stuff paid, and then we get you into to the program so you can start classes here and get your belief on and endure
Okay.
what you got to endure. Like the system doesn't set up like this. So then it's like now I'm questioning where my 30,000 going because I need a breakdown. I need an itemized sheet like it's tax season so you
They
can
do give you
show
tax
me
form.
the breakdown of it. And I'm like, come on, because I need it. I don't want it from the IRS. I want it from the JIRS. I want it from the Jesus Internal Revenue Service. That's where I want it from. I want
This
you
is
to
so
I
funny.
and I want it from the water into wine section of the building. I want to know what we capitalize, like how we
Okay.
getting this
That was a
because
fish fry he had. But go
I kn-
ahead.
and I'm sitting here like because if you the bread represents his body, but it ain't the only thing I'm supposed to be eating 365. I'm trying to get mine in here.
He has sandwiches that day.
So then it's kind of like, come on, like, but you
Yeah,
know
fish.
what? But you know what? And certain stuff in the Bible, like I said, is real, and it ain't joking all around, but it is true and true. He sat
Mhm.
around hanging out with 12 individuals that he thought was his best friends and his fam,
Hmm.
and will follow him everywhere. And one of them was sitting there plotting the whole entire time.
And that
Right.
be happening right now.
Right now. Mhm.
It's
To
just
this
Sitting there,
day,
yeah,
and the
like
thing
it
about it, but then
destroys you, girl.
they say turn the other cheek.
Nah.
I was,
mm-mm.
and then I'm like, so, and I agree with that. Certain stuff you do, like if we, because we have done it, we turn other cheek for the right people.
You
Let's
pick
be
and
honest.
choose your
We
battles.
turn
That's
we
what you
turn
do.
the
Right.
other
Yeah.
cheek for the right people. Some people, I'm not going to
Some
turn the
people
cheek.
you
I'm
just
gonna
gotta.
cut
I
off.
was gonna say some people you just gotta cut off. You gotta filter through it. You gotta feel like who worth just the battle and who not. Like I'm
Hmm.
cutting you off. If
And
I
they
feel
talk
like you
about
don't
don't
fight my
fight,
peace,
let
no.
him fight. But I'm like, maybe I'm helping him turn their cheek. So I think it works out. I'm doing the work of the Lord.
That's not how that
Yes.
works.
But
What's
if
the
you
song? What's the song that came out? What was his name? That came out with the
shake,
I
shake, shake,
try
shake the devil
Jesus,
off.
don't try Jesus, don't try me.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's the truth.
I have to think about
Okay.
it.
You
But
will have a better chance of trying Jesus, baby.
this was a good topic to address. We just want to leave y'all with some comedy at the end, so don't be thinking we judging anybody in any situation or you know. But this is a good topic. We ain't gonna even leave it out with any positive messages because I don't think it needs any at this point. I think it's just down to the nitty gritty of the realness of it. Believe in what you believe in by all means. Love what you love. People will question spirituality, they will question religion, and that's everybody's own path. Do not persecute people because they question, and they're not going to persecute you because you follow what you follow. At the end of the day, I would say everybody on this platform is a believer, just in a different way. So hopefully everybody got the different viewpoints and the different talk points of it, and by all means, our pages are open, so make sure you go there, listen, subscribe,
Hmm.
share, comment, send us inbox them if you want us to address any other topics or anything like that. And I mean, be a part of it. We've been wanting to do this episode. Actually, this is episode 14, which is wow. 14. And we've been wanting to do this like since day one.
Okay.
So this is good to finally like hit it in. And you'll get more topics like this. Not like this. This one's gonna be like the cutoff for a minute, but you'll hear other topics on the lines of this. And if you enjoyed it, like I say, go follow our page on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and I think that's it. And then also the melaninplaybook.com. Go tune in, play
Okay.
around on the web page, leave us positive messages, sign up for our e-list, hit it up. So with
Yes.
that being said, we're gonna holler out. We'll see you guys later. Thank you for being a part of the Melanin experience and being a part of the movement. Join us. We'll holler at you later.
Bye.
Later. Peace and love.